And up next, we have Hannah York. She is known as a catalyst. Let me just spread out my stretch here. And she is going to be speaking today, like I said, about embracing your whole self for body, mind, and soul connection. She's the owner of Holistic Healing by Hannah. She's an energy healer, teacher, and mentor, an oracle card creator, Gemstone Jewelry designer. She brings practical and grounded energy and perspective to the metaphysical. Hannah helps you connect to your energy of your goals and desires to help and guides you to gently release the energy that's blocking them. She meets you where you are and provides you the support that your heart and soul craves. She also has a Kickstarter campaign for her oracle cards. Please share that in the chat so people can support you. There it is. Great. Awesome. She's on it. Great. And then you can find all her links in the chat right here and you can also find it on Healers Network virtualfair.com. Where's your website? How come I don't see your website there? Isn't your website Healing by Hannah?
Yeah, holistichealingbyhannah.com. I'll go ahead and put it in chat.
I'll add it now to the website. I don't know why it's not there. Okay, you got the stage for about 50 minutes.
Okay, so they were talking, and the theme that came through a lot with the card readings I've been doing today was oneness and solidarity, which I feel like is very fitting with the theme of the talk today. So it's all about connecting with that internal and external support system that you have for yourself now, while things might be a little bit calmer, maybe more peaceful, maybe they aren't, but it's all about connecting in with who that support team is now for you, including, can you be that for yourself? And so often when we're feeling isolated and alone in the world, or like the people around us can't understand where we're at, what we want, what we're saying, it feels like they're on a whole different world. It's because we've actually isolated pieces of ourselves. And we're not even allowing ourselves to fully hear, connect, understand with the other pieces of us. And part of that too, what came up a lot last month was the divine feminine versus the divine masculine. And so many people embody this energy that if you're female, you should be more in your feminine. If you're masculine, then you just have that divine masculine energy. And that's not the case. Every person, every being has the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And if you look at it as a sliding scale, right, you've got your feminine on one side, your masculine on the others. It's embracing all of this energy. It's all at your disposal. It's all part of you. It's all there for you to utilize. It's just knowing when at any given moment you can slide back and forth. It's a fluid scale. When you can be in your feminine, which is the receiving energy, and when you can be in your masculine. And it's more of the giving energy, the more go, 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 just do it, but just push through, just it's a lot more of the action type energy. And so often what happens is we get stuck in the masculine energy. It's really hard to let go, surrender, or go with the flow that is the feminine energy. And so often people think that surrendering into the feminine energy or having feminine energy is actually the weaker energy, or it's weakness or laziness to just go with the flow, or to not have that rigid structure. And so it's just recognizing that both of these energies are part of you, and just releasing the shame, the judgment, the resentment, the resistance to being in feminine or masculine energy, so that you can be more at one with yourself, allowing yourself to be at peace and just happy and content being you. And so that's probably the most common example I see is is we tend to isolate the feminine or the masculine energy, feeling like what we're doing is wrong, leaning too much direction in one direction or the other because we feel like one's bad. But they're both part of you. They're both will help you on your journey. It's just allowing both of them to come forward and into your energy. And so I don't have a big talk for you guys today, but I do want to ask you guys some questions. So I want you guys to grab a piece of paper, grab a pen, and just take a minute if you feel inspired to answer these questions, or at least start the thought process. And so the first question is, if I had what I desired, how would I feel right now? And allow yourself to think beyond just the actual having of it. Think about what your life looks like. How do you feel? What's different about your life once you reach this milestone, once you accomplish this goal, once you get that promotion, etc. And then after that, write out this next sentence. What part of me doesn't feel safe having this? You might hear an age. You might hear a name, like a nickname for yourself. It might be your survival self. It might be your ego. And there is no wrong answer here. And none of this should be met with judgment. It's just learning to understand yourself and the different energetic pieces of your subconscious and your energy body. Because when we have a desire or a dream, we want to make sure that our whole mind, body energy is on board and moving the same direction with us. And so it's very, very important to listen to the pieces of us that might not feel safe or deserving or loved or anything else. So the first step is asking ourselves, what part of us doesn't feel safe having this? So that we can then get curious and provide that safety and security for that piece of us. Right? So say, we'll do a real life example right now. So my desire is that the Kickstarter for my Oracle cards is beyond successful. It's fully funded. It's overly funded. Everybody loves the deck. Everybody wants the cards, right? And so if I tune into my body and just ask what part of me doesn't feel safe having that, it's actually myself at 5 years old, and I can feel the energy like right here in my chest. And so now I'm just going to ask why. What is coming up? What fear, what worry, what does you need to know? And this 5-year-old version of me doesn't feel safe being seen. Doesn't want to be visible to that many people. There are emotions of humiliation and sadness and rejection coming up from this 5-year-old version of me. So now I'm just going to picture just holding my hands out to her, embracing her, and just showing her love and compassion, letting her know that she's safe, and thanking her for being brave enough to come forward and tell me these fears. And then I'm just going to release those emotions that she expressed, release those from my energy body, release them from her, so that she can integrate back into me. Because what was happening, she felt this isolation and this humiliation, and part of her was separate from me, from my energy body. So I'm just bringing her back in and just releasing that pain, that sadness, that trauma. And then we just do this piece by piece, energy part by energy part, allowing ourselves to be more at one with ourselves, building up our own internal support system, right? Because there's so much that I can learn from this 5-year-old version of me. Her creativity, love for life, the childlike wonder, those are all skills and attributes that I want to bring into my life now. You know, who doesn't need more of that spontaneous play, releasing those burdens that she was carrying. And so for me, even with the cards that I've created, the images come first, almost always. The images or a feeling will come first. So for example, and these cards are meant as a tool to help bring you back into your own body. They're asking you to look at what color is standing out to you most at this point in time. When you look at the card, do you feel emotions? Do you feel strong emotions, positive or negative? So you can also use these as a tool to connect to your body if you're not able to identify what part of you feels isolated. So there's so many tools that you can use to help you with this. You can use muscle testing. You can make yourself a list or a chart of the different energy types. You can ask, is this an inner child version of me that feels disconnected or isolated? Is it my ego? Is it my survival self? Is it a core wound? Is it a spiritual wound? And everybody has their own definitions on what energy bodies they have or what parts of themselves they've named. Every modality has some slight differences, right? Theta healing, you have the survival self, the ego, the undercurrent, and your higher self. And you have those 4 versions of your energy on the 4 different levels in your body: the core, the history, the soul, and the higher self. And so you can make yourself your own chart, and you can muscle test which area might need that extra healing and love and compassion to be on board with your goal. And, a wonderful way to connect within your body is not even needing a goal in the first place. Just sitting and asking yourself, what part of me feels separate right now? What part of me feels alone or isolated or it's even not loved. What part of me could use some more love and compassion? And so everybody has their own way of connecting with their intuition. So you can muscle test. You can feel into your body where that energy is stored. So when you ask that question, a good place that you could start is just saying, so if I were to feel more loved and whole within myself, what part of me, where's this energy stored in my body that needs some more support? And for me, again, I'm feeling it right in here. But it could be your knee, it could be your foot, your shoulder, even your nose. Because the energy of what happens to us gets stored everywhere in our body. So it's important not to judge where the energy shows up. It's just to practice listening to your body and what it's telling you. And you can just sit with that energy. So if I didn't have any other tools than my intuition, and I could just feel that I had that heaviness here when I asked what part of me needed more love, I would just sit with my hands here and even just repeat affirmations to myself that I am loved, I am safe, I am deserving, that I love myself, that I accept myself, right? And those are the affirmations that were coming through as I tapped into my intuition. But if you're not hearing or getting that guidance for yourself, always just look up some affirmations that you can tell yourself, or write yourself a list of affirmations that you can go through and tell these parts of your body when you do a connection exercise. Same thing, like if the energy's in your shoulder, of course you might not be able to put two hands there, but whatever you can do. And because you're bridging that gap between your mind and your body, you're allowing yourself to tap into that energy, even if you're not quite sure what it is. You're saying, I feel something here, and now I'm going to send that love, compassion, acceptance, this part of my body. I'm just going to sit with it and know that this part of my energy field, this part of my soul, just needs some attention. And you can also do this with any part of your body that hurts or doesn't feel good. So your body's a messenger, right? So if you start listening to your body and asking, the body parts that hurt, why they hurt, where the pain's coming from, you might be guided. So even if you have shoulder pain, you might ask your body to show you where else this energy is stored in your body, that you can send some love and acceptance to, the feelings of being heard and understood. And then you might feel a sensation in your knee, right? So just allow yourself to be guided to the different parts of your body that are looking for this attention. So your body is a messenger. And it might seem difficult or bizarre initially, trying to learn to listen to those different messages. But the more you do, and the more you trust that guidance to what you're feeling, the more connected you're going to become. Because here's the beautiful thing. What happens if you're wrong? Nothing. So allow yourself to trust that intuition, right? What's the worst thing that happens if I feel like I felt the flutter in my shoulder? I spent a couple of minutes giving myself attention and affirmations. That's only a benefit to me. And then as you start to trust yourself and follow that guidance, it's going to get better and better. You'll be surprised at how quickly it opens up those intuitive channels for you and what messages you get from your body. And so piece by piece, body part by body part, listening to these messages, journaling on those questions, asking yourself what part of you doesn't feel safe, what part of you doesn't feel loved, what part of you doesn't deserve to have a happy whole life, what part of you doesn't feel like you deserve to be whole, to be at one. You'll start to unravel these knots that have been carried with you for so long. And by naming them, sometimes you just need to name them, say them out loud or write them down to take away their power. Right? And it's mind-blowing sometimes how simple it can be to have that release. Some of the beliefs I release, I say them out loud, and I was almost terrified to say them out loud, because what does that mean about me that I had that belief? Or, this belief means that I'm such a bad person. But when I actually say them out loud and release them, realize that they weren't mine to begin with, that's not true. I know I'm a kind, caring person, right? And so it's important that if you hear a belief that comes up about yourself, that you don't deserve to succeed, what can you write that disproves that, right? Because these lists are not an exercise in demeaning yourself. It's not a laundry list of all the things that are wrong with you. And if you feel that a flow of the negativity is coming out, that's okay. But it's important to go back and disprove those statements. Even if the only thing that you can disprove it with at the beginning is that Creator Source wouldn't say this about me. If there's universal love and divine love, that wouldn't be true about me. Is there somebody that you can love, like my husband, right? For example, there might be times where I can't get behind a statement for myself, but be like, I trust my husband implicitly. He doesn't think that about me. He knows me. He spends a lot of time with me. He doesn't feel that way about me. So can I trust his opinion of me until I get behind it myself? So you can look, if you're spiritual, your source, your spirit team, your guides, your higher self, they only have positive things to say about you. So if they wouldn't say it, then it's not true. And so it's just to connect mind, body, and spirit, just connecting when you're asking yourself about your goals, your dreams. Where does this energy live in my body? Allow yourself to feel where it's at. And what do you need to know to release it? And even if you can't hear, sit with the intuition, just allow yourself to just sit with that piece of you, recognizing that part of you, acknowledging it, and knowing that in that moment you're doing the best that you can. And that is all you need to know, right? If I couldn't hear what the 5-year-old version of me was telling me, it's enough that I muscle tested and knew that the 5-year-old me needed help. So I could sit with her, send her love, just picture love going from my heart to that piece of me. I'm just sitting there acknowledging that part of me that feels splintered off. Yeah. Allowing it to come back into acceptance. But that is really all I have for you guys here, that I am happy to help coach you guys through anything that you might have going on yourselves. So if there is a goal or a desire that you have that you feel blocked from, we can help you connect to that piece of you that might be feeling stuck or where it's unachievable. And if nobody has anything, then we can go ahead and draw to see who wins a free session.
You're opening it up to Q&A, or are you going to offer some sessions now to people?
Yeah. So both, we can do Q&A. If anybody wants some coaching through something similar with connecting to their body, we absolutely can. But if nobody's interested in either or, we can go ahead and do the drawing.
No, you still have a half hour.
Oh, I know, but if nobody's asking anything, we can do the drawing, but it's open for anybody that has Q&A.
No, what the door prize is at the very end. I suggest that you might do some readings or healings or demonstration for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah, yep, nope. I've offered that a couple of times now. If anybody would like to be coached through anything, please go ahead. You can unmute or let me know in the chat.
We have Sharon. Would you like a session? Judy, Natalie, Lucille, unmute yourself, please. She's also an amazing reader and a medical intuitive.
Go for a walk. With Hannah, she's very good. I went to your website and I had you email me 3 card readings. I like that. Yeah, we'll be in touch.
Sounds great. Thank you so much for sharing.
You're welcome.
I'm super excited about that website, by the way. Maybe more proud than I should be, but it's pretty awesome.
You did it yourself?
I, for once, delegated. I don't do that very often. I had somebody code it, and then I upload the images and the descriptions.
Well, God bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I want to make a quick announcement before you continue. We have Jen posted in the PlayRoom right now. She's going to be doing some light language activations, channeling the Galactic Higher Council, as well as doing some mini soul plan readings. So she is there right now for the next hour. If you haven't had a chance to meet with Jen, post. Jump into room number 1, and number 2 is the psychic booking room and the healing room, and Roy and Julian's in there to help support you. And we're going to open up the floor right now for any live readings with Hannah. Let her use her cards. And Sharon, even if you did a reading on the platform, you're welcome to do one live here with her. I'll take a reading. Even if you just want to do a few cards. Yeah. It's been a very trying time with electronics.
I was so proud of myself. I created a Facebook ad for the Kickstarter campaign. It was awesome. And then I somehow deleted it 6 hours after it got approved.
How'd it get deleted?
Oh, I'm sure I clicked a button. I don't know what the hell I did, but it's gone. Oh, so Sherry, your card is essence. So in order for things to start getting easier for you, you're being asked to embody everything that is you. I feel like I've given you this card reading before. But you're being asked to acknowledge all of the parts of you that make you you. And it's almost, you're being called to write a love letter to yourself. Even if it's from the future or from a different perspective, like looking back on your life, all the things that you're proud of, all of the wonderful things that you've accomplished, all of the things that you've done to make the world a better place, to help your family, your friends, look at, the accomplishment of this, bringing all of us together. But you're being asked to let's just make a list of everything that you've done, but acknowledge that and how it's, and embody it in your being. And then things will start to get better as you get more concrete in that energy about you.
So acknowledge my accomplishments is what you said, basically.
If your accomplishments and everything that makes you, your personality, like, are you caring? Are you giving? Do you just love people because they're people, right? So you do a wonderful job at introducing and spotlighting us, your speakers. Oh, there's your assignment. What would you say about yourself? And not just about your work skills, but you as a person. And then once you're able to bring that knowledge and acceptance of you into your front and center, where you accept it as part of you, and you accept that it does make you unique and special, then things will start to get easier, because then you're magnetizing from that point of attraction, and things will start coming in that reciprocate that energy.
Oh, so who am I without working?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's all I've been as a human doing the past few years, to not stop.
Okay, well then what part of you is that serving? Right? Are you getting that love for people, that joy, that connection? So some of the things that you're getting from working could be stuff about you. It could be what's driving you to be doing all of the work, but it's finding that motivation and what makes Sherry tick. But also, yes, try to find a little bit, carve out some time that is not just work.
I think you gave me some marching orders last time we spoke.
I tend to do that. My readings typically come with homework.
Okay, you know, we all need to take a look at what we're not capable of seeing.
Yeah, and it feels very positive. Like there's so much good energy and so many opportunities surrounding you. And I'm not talking about things about work, right? There's so much else surrounding you that wants to come into your life, but there's no space because you haven't acknowledged that you even want it. So allow yourself to dream, and dream big about your personal life, not just your work life.
Got it. Okay. Thank
Miss
you.
Tracy, do you want a reading?
I would love a reading.
Happy you were able to pop on.
I saw that you were on, so I had to come in and see you.
Speaking of solidarity, on the card I pulled earlier, Tracy's one of my dear friends who popped on to support me. Tracy, your card is Breath of Life. It's time to revive your soul. So you're being asked to really dive deep into what you like to do, what you enjoy doing. How do I say this without accidentally cussing? Clear away the debris that is like all the extra miscellaneous, extraneous stuff that you're doing to keep yourself busy, that you're telling yourself that you need to do in order to achieve XYZ. Like releasing all of the shoulds and all of the I need tos, and just focus back on what makes you happy. What do you want in your life? And recognizing that you already have the tools and knowledge and skills to bring that into creation now. You don't need anything else.
Thank you.
You're like, yeah. First of all.
Did we just talk about this?
It's not my fault the cards are broken record.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Okay, if anybody else wants a reading, I'll be right back. I just gotta go open the door for my doggy. He's gotta go outside.
Go ahead. She's got a dog who's not feeling good today. It's funny because she's not feeling good today. So how many people out there have animals that have issues when you do, or you have issues when your animal does? Or I noticed the other day, I've been having a lot of air conditioning and water heating problems in my house. And I'm also having high blood pressure problems. So just like, you know, things kind of are interesting. Like when they were putting the Freon in my air conditioning yesterday, and I was almost getting ready to replace my air conditioning unit, which I cannot afford. He says I needed Freon. It cost $400 for Freon. It was the best $400 I spent. But when he put the tubes on and he was like running the diagnostics, it was like, you know, testing the blood pressure of the air conditioning unit. And he basically had to recharge the air conditioning unit and give it some gas again. So I was like looking at the correlation of the electronics in our lives and our lives. You know, I was not feeling good this past week with my blood pressure, and then my air conditioning goes and I ran out of Freon. So, you know, I'm like, look at the craziness. So I just wanted to bring that up. And when you're not feeling good, Hannah, your dog's not feeling good. That's the only reason I brought that up.
Oh, absolutely. It's amazing, but also just commonplace once you get used to it, right? That everything's a reflection of our own energy field, and our dogs and our cats, they very much take on my energy and my husband's energy. There's times like my husband's traveling, I'll call him and say, hey, having a rough day, huh? Because I can tell like how the dogs are acting.
Really? Out of town, you can tell?
Oh, because they're so connected. Yeah, they're connected to our energy, just like we do remote healing or distance healing, how this whole platform works. They know the cats aren't as obvious about it, but they do. And they pick up our energy. The cats, for the most part, are better at clearing the energy that they've picked up from us. But the dogs need a little bit more help. But I can kind of tell, like with Mr. Ernie, who some of you guys saw earlier with the ball in his mouth, he's got a lot of sore muscles, and I can almost typically tell like the spots that are sore on him are sore on my husband.
You see?
And, you know, both Huckleberry and I have been having some stomach issues. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Is it my stuff or his? Let's be honest, my stuff, but I can say that I'm picking it up from him just to make myself feel better sometimes. But yeah, so it's just my own fears and worries that I need to work through. And then saying, let's, you know, launching the Kickstarter, being visible, being public about all the things that I'm doing is a big thing, right? It can be about the fear of being seen, digesting life, all of those things. We're not, you know, stomaching, you know,
right.
What if it fails? It's like, it doesn't actually fail. It just means I try again. I know people love the cards. It just means that I need to tweak something and launch again. But making sure that, again, connecting to all of those parts of your body, what part of me doesn't believe that when I say it?
Right, your solar plexus.
There's obviously part of it, right? Yeah, exactly. The solar plexus. And where have I given my power away before, right? So just all those different questions that you can ask and the different layers to peel back. And I've been planning on doing this for most of this year. So I've had to work through a lot to actually get it to you, be at the launch day that it's at.
Well, did you pick a launch date? Has it launched? Or you need a relaunch and you talk to Julian with the numbers and pick the proper date to launch?
I actually sent Julian a message earlier asking if we could do numerology on.
Right.
Yeah, that was me, Julian. And So right now I have it set to launch October 3rd.
I,
So like, because it's in the pre-launch stage. Yeah, I know. As I say, it doesn't, but
no. It's Mercury retrograde, October 3rd, 13446 1. It's a one universal day, which is that of doing everything by yourself, and it's for you to have more communion and community in the numbers. There's that 10, which is a 1, 3, 6. Nah, I don't feel that's a good day for you.
okay. So what day within the next month might have a better numerology? Because my goal
Anything
is
with 2.
Well, one, it's for you to get out of Mercury retrograde and all of this insanity that's taking place. So I think Mercury's retrograde is till the 9th or something like that. And then after that, it's free sailing. What's your birth date, darling?
January 28th, 1988.
January 28th, 1988. 26-8. 1, 2, 8, 1. Wow, you're a triple 1. You love your ones, darling. And it's interesting that you're married, because you're so independent and you do things by yourself in such an extraordinary way. But yet you're born on the 28th, and the 2 is in front of the 8. So you're here to realize that your success will come through sharing, through community, and not doing it by yourself, even though you're so good at doing it by yourself. But you're here to learn how to be the leader. The leader teaches other people how to lead and how to bring people together, and not just thinking about, okay, freedom, independence. This is, so it's good that you're asking about the date.
She needs a 2 in there.
And I have to give it some thought right now, in regards to if you want it October, if you want it November.
So the launch date, so there's a launch date and then there's a campaign end date.
Well, the launch date, or are you doing this legally with legal papers? Is there legality? Are you signing a contract of some sort or not?
Yeah, so that's already been done, saying that if I raise the money by the date that I have set, then I'm legally obligated to fulfill the contract, which is if I raise the $11,000 by October 31st that I've set right now, then that's saying I have to deliver the product.
So October 31st is your date.
Yeah, I still have some flexibility where I can change that end date.
I would say so. I would say so, because you're going to start a week late because of Mercury retrograde right away. So he needs to look at what equals a 2, right, Julian?
Well, what's interesting is that October 31st, 2022 is a 2.
Right. And it's also our anniversary.
And it's also a high 4. It's your 1. It has the 6. And also it's October. Oh, wait a second. That's Halloween, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's another whole story, because Halloween is Hallows Eve, and we're talking about the whole philosophy of what that is in regards to the sorcery and the black magic and all of that and more. So, wow.
Well, that's a lot of money to raise in a short amount of time.
And what happens if you don't raise that money?
Nothing. Then nobody gets charged. So it's an all or nothing thing. And that's why, like, I have nothing to lose by putting myself out there. I know it's Mercury retrograde, but this isn't something new.
No, it's what I'm talking about is the fact that you're in Mercury retrograde. It's not for you to stop everything, but in regards to starting something in a Mercury retrograde can be a little off kilter, as well as also
the day that you start something is like you give it birth. So it's like you're pregnant now and you're waiting for the child to be born. So the day that you're starting, you're giving birth to this new child, and this new child is your business. Do you understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's, so the goal behind the numbers, and like what Sherry saying, the short-term raise a lot of money. It is, and on Kickstarter, they recommend that you have a launch gate that's less than 30 days, so that like most campaigns are funded if it's under a 30-day launch period. So between the pre-launch and the campaign end date.
So what they're asking you is to have something before October 31st?
That's the date that I set, because I strongly want that, like with manufacturing, fulfillment, all of that stuff, so that they can be in people's hands before Christmas, like with the holiday season.
Sure.
So there is some flexibility in that. Like we could probably push it like a week or two, but I liked the 31st because it's also our wedding anniversary.
Your wedding anniversary is what day?
October 31st, Halloween.
All right. Wow.
So it has extra symbolism to us.
Oh yeah. Totally. I mean, that's where you guys, that's where you guys connected. Mercury retrograde ends on October 2nd. Okay. 10-2, 10-2, 12, 3, 3, 6, 9. No, it's a 9. October 8th, let's see, 9, 6, 8. Huh. October 8th. That's not a bad energy.
October 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you feel about that?
Yeah, it said you like.
What numbers?
It's a 1866. It's a 24/6, and the 24/6 is the Trinity of Beauty, but it also is business. It's a business of coming from a place of passion. So it's your business and coming from a place of really loving what you're doing.
Yeah, and 8s are all over my numerology anyway. With you said H is the number 8.
Well, yeah. Well, eight is money, prosperity, power. 8 is you understanding and knowing how to, and you're born in 88, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So, and that 1988 is a 26/8. So one of the things that you're here to learn in your life is how to run a business, how to be a businesswoman. Does that make any sense?
Yes. No, that sounds good. I mean, and just because I changed the launch date doesn't mean that I need to change the end date on it either.
Well, I feel that October 8th is better than October 3rd.
Oh, yeah, no, for a start date, absolutely. But just because I changed the start date doesn't mean I have to change the end date.
No, the ending you keep because it's, it's fine. It's your, it's your marriage, it's your graduation, it's your everything. So.
Yeah, and Kickstarter likes the shorter time frames, that sense of urgency. And I feel if I launch on a auspicious day, let's say, and if the campaign's not funded, it's still an auspicious day to get the word out about what I'm doing. And
but what I love about, again, October 8th, 2022, it's the 10, 8, 18, 18, 6 is 24. It's the trinity of, again, of beauty. And it's also a business trinity of what's your passion. So it's perfect in what you're doing.
Fantastic. I'm going to go change that as soon as we get off the call.
Excellent.
Thank you so much, Julian.
Sure, Don. Anyone else? Do you want a baby named? We can do that too.
Hi. I'll take, you want to use my birthday?
Well, let
No.
Hannah's, it's Hannah's platform right now, but we can let Hannah do what she does, and she's very good at what she does. Why? She's a double H, so she knows what she's doing.
She is good.
So talk to Hannah, Sharon, with an S.
You do birthdays?
Me, I don't, but Julian does.
I'll do your birthday later, darling.
Okay.
But
all right.
Let Hannah has the stage. Let her do whatever she does right now as she goes and feeds the dog a sandwich.
I saw one of the doggies.
Actually,
yeah.
Hannah's going to be wrapping it up. Julian is going to be in the playroom in 30 minutes for a whole interactive hour. So he'll answer any of your numbers there in 30 minutes. And coming up next, we have Carol, who's going to be joining us momentarily here in the main room for an hour. Jen is still in the playroom for 30 more minutes. And here's my cat. He always shows up. Here's Shay. So we've got the show.
Hannah, do you think you need to do another reading? Do you see something, or should we let? I was trying to wait to see if someone else wanted to come in, but
they've had plenty of opportunities. Let me draw another card for you, Sharon.
Someone to come in.
Could I have a reading, please?
Okay, let this person go.
Is that the cat talking?
I think it's Judy.
It is.
Go ahead, Judy, because we already did a reading, so I'll mute myself.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, thank you, Sharon.
I thought that was the cat. Okay. All right.
Judy, your card is the Divine Feminine. So I don't know if you were on for the talk that I was giving earlier, but you're really being asked with the Divine Feminine to embrace that receiving energy and allowing yourself to receive, allowing yourself to be supported and nurtured. And knowing that it's safe and that it can be a sign of strength that you're allowing other people to support you and that you're receiving from the universe. So whatever challenges or obstacles that you're facing in your life right now, the Divine Feminine is asking you to get in touch with the flow, with surrender, allowing yourself to connect to the energy of source, that divine source energy, your spirit team, and just receive the help that they're already offering.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I suppose.
Is there something specific that you're having a challenge or an obstacle with?
No, not me particularly.
Okay. Well, then it's just a more general leaning into that receiving energy of the Divine Feminine. You'll notice that, especially if you're not having any major issues, you'll notice that things just start to flow more easily in your life, that things just get better. If they're good now, they're just going to keep getting better when you allow that divine energy to come more into your being.
I believe that.
Yeah, because it's showing up because it needs you to embrace it more. So sorry, most people, when they want a reading, there's something that's going on. So yeah, things are good now. They'll get even better the more you allow that divine feminine energy in.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. I have a number already written down on my piece of paper. So if we wanted to do the drawings, I'd know Sherry said that Carol's up next at 3:30. So we can hand the stage over. You guys want? So if you guys want to put a number in the chat to win a free 30-minute session with me.
I couldn't see my screen. Yeah, so put a number from 0 to 100, and Carol's going to come up next. Vicky, try to locate her. She should be here by now. She was here before. If you haven't won a door prize today, put your number in the chat from 0 to 100. She's going to write her number down, and she will hold it up. Cat. Put your number in the chat from 0 to 100, and you're going to win a session. And Carol's coming up next. She always channels messages from the Venusians, and she does light language. I don't think she does light language. She's a recalibration healer. Okay, so
we're available for people that have donated, right, or contributed, Sherry?
We're opening it up now because I don't see their names. I have my list of VIPs, and I don't see them here, so they were here and left. But we're just going to open it up to anybody now. So you have a number written down?
I do.
Okay, cool. So guys, we're going to do a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. If anyone's listening on Facebook or YouTube, you need to be here to play. And we also have PlayRoom experience as well as 5-minute free sessions and reduced show prices. We still got a few more hours left. I can't see the screen for some reason. Oh, there it is. Okay, it was covered. All right, so ready? We got a couple of people. There's Carol. Great. Carol's here. So ready? We'll do a 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What is your number?
33.
Oh, perfect. No way. Natalie got it. Exactly, 33.
Oh. All right, Natalie, if you want to follow me to room 88, we will exchange information.
Awesome.
All right, thank you guys so much, and enjoy Carol's talk.
Wait a second.
You, Hannah.
Oh, sorry.
Wait. Natalie won last time.
Oh, yes, I did with Roy.
Wow, no, look at you.
You can only win
But that
one.
was by default because no one else put a number.
Yeah, but you already won today, and you can only win once per day.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
You won. So you want to pick another number, or because unless we pick the next one, which would be Tracy's next closest one to 33. We'll do that.
Yeah, we can just do that by default. That way Carol can start her talk. And Natalie, even though you won by default last time and you don't get to claim the prize this time, you still pick the number. So go buy some lottery tickets, journal on what it is you want to call in, because you, lady, are on a roll. So capitalize on that energy.
Awesome. I couldn't hear everything, but everything sounded good. What am I supposed to do?
Just really tune into the desires that you want, or if you want, follow me to room 88 so I don't take any more of Carol's time.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you want to offer her a little mini for knocking it on the head, you can do that if you want to support her.
We haven't done a free 5-minute one for her yet, so we can do that.
Oh, cool. Awesome. All right. So Tracy, you're also going to follow her to her room so you guys can exchange information. Okay. And that way she can do the session with you in another time, or even today if they want. Hey, Tracy.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Now, Tracy, since you are friends with her, did you want to pass it on since you have access to her?
Sure.
So, since you have access to her, and would you want to offer it to the next person, which would be Sharon?
Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, cool. Let's do that.